Okay, everybody. Good afternoon. Today is Friday, August 11th, 2017, and the time is 12:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, we have a topic for your ass today. Um, Hi, Nancy. Good afternoon. I'll call it afternoon. My coffee is, I have like a half a sip left. So, hopefully, the quality is really good. Um, I have a whole new system that I'm working with. You should probably have a really great picture, and the sound should be pretty good too. I'm hoping, but yeah. Well, we'll just move on with this. Nancy, you can hear me, okay? Um, I just want to make sure that you can hear and see me, and that should be the case. All right. So while I wait for that response, because I'm pretty sure there's a delay. Today's topic is how to deal with depression and anxiety because we all do. Everybody has depression. Everybody has anxiety. At some point, there's stresses in your life and blah, blah, blah. So, I like to talk about that on occasion because um, I think a lot of people suffer with it when they don't really need to. So, one of the things that I notice about depression and anxiety is that um, people give in to depression and anxiety. Let's talk about anxiety for a minute. Anxiety is here's an interesting fact about anxiety. Anxiety is nothing more than excitement, like a excitement, and then based on what your thought process is at the moment. So if you have bad thoughts during that excitement, it's called anxiety. If you have good thoughts during that excitement, it's just excitement. Your brain actually does the same thing whether you're having anxiety or you're having excitement. Like when you're a kid and you come downstairs and this Christmas, Santa Claus was there and you're all excited. Your brain does the same exact thing. Um, Good afternoon, Kelly. Your brain does the same exact thing um, either way. It's just your thought process that makes it good or bad, which is pretty interesting. So, with that little bit of information, because I used to have anxiety when I was younger, I had anxiety. I was on medication for a lot of years. Um, and of course, the anxiety, what the anxiety medication does is takes that part of your brain and calms down excitement. So, whether it's good excitement or bad excitement, it's calmed down from that medication. So, I started thinking, well, if that is true, then I don't want a medication taking away my happy excitement. I only wanted to take away my bad excitement. But medication can't change your thought process. It can only change the parts of your brain that work. How am I going to phrase this? It can only calm down parts of your brain, that part of your brain that creates excitement, that causes excitement, where the excitement happens. So if you have a part of your brain where excitement happens, um, the medication slows that down. So if you came downstairs as a little kid and Santa Claus came and there's a bunch of presents there and that excitement that you feel, you're not going to feel that either. It's going to take that away from you too, as well as the bad. So I started thinking, well, if it's just changing that part of my brain, then what is. Um, oh, it looks like I'm having some sort of keyframe frequencies. I could be buffering. Huh. So it looks like I'm having some sort of buffering issue. I don't know how to use this new software and stuff yet, so hopefully you guys bear with me. I apologize. Um, I'm just going to go on with this and hope for the best. Shit. Keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Let me see if I can change this. Hold on. I hate to do this while you guys are here live, but um, I don't even know where that would be. Um, I don't know. I'm sorry. Yep, I have no idea how to do this. Yeah. All right. So I'm just gonna go with it and hope for the best. So I hope everything's okay for you guys. But anyway, so I started thinking about that while I was on this medication, and I thought, well, if it's up to me what I think about, then shouldn't I be able to change my thought process? And shouldn't I have control over my anxiety? And here is the answer: absolutely, you can. Now, changing your thought process is not always an easy thing because um, you have to really focus on the way you think about things, the way that your life is, the way that you choose to live. And a lot of times what we do is we have anxiety based on shit that doesn't even matter. Some of the things that we have anxiety on, for example, you might have anxiety because your neighbors have a better car than you and you can never afford that car. You may have anxiety because you want a better house, a better place to live. You want this, you want that. You need this, you need that, you need more money. If I ask 99% of people that I ask, what do you want from your life? They all say shit that doesn't matter. They all talk about things that are not very, very important, like money, uh, cars, better job, this, that, all these things that do not define who you are as a human being. So if you start being satisfied with who you are as a human being and everything else is secondary, it will help you remove your anxiety. I mean, I had anxiety because my whole life I was always told, and we all are by society, that in order to show success, you need to have great things. That's how you show people your success. You need to have a great job to show people this is what I do for a living and this is who I am. No, that's not who you are. Your job, I don't care if you're a doctor or you're a trash guy. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me and what should matter to you is the type of person that you are inside. So with anxiety and depression, these are things that are thrown at us by society because you may be, you know, let's say you have a job and you work at the mall and you're just like, this is a shit job. I work at McDonald's. I hate my job. And it's just, I got to do it so I can make ends meet. Well, guess what? You as a human being are doing what you have to do to survive. And that's a wonderful thing. You should be proud of yourself for that. Not, oh, well, this guy has an office job and he sits there with his feet up all day, or he never even goes to work and he makes a fortune. I want that life. Well, do you want that life? Focus on who you are as a human being. And then what you need to do is live that life as a human being of who you are. And define yourself by who you are. Don't define yourself and stop trying to define yourself with things that can't define you. Look, you being a doctor is a status thing. It's status, right? If you're a doctor, you go, I'm a doctor, and people go, ooh, he's a doctor. So he went to school, right? Doesn't change who he is as a human being. It changes possibly the type of people he'll hang out with, which is silly in my opinion, because I don't care. I have friends, like I said this yesterday. I have friends who are millionaires. I have friends that are on disability and barely get by. Does it matter? Or does it matter who the person is on the inside? You have to start looking at yourself like that. If you have anxiety, you have depression, you have these things in your life like that, what you need to do is start looking at your life, who you are as an individual, not looking at your life as in what you have or what you're trying to ascertain in your life, because none of that really matters all with anxiety. Of course we have stresses, daily stresses. We all do. I need money, I got to pay rent, I got to do this, I got to do that. That's just stress. How you handle that stress completely defines how your day is going to go. If you have things that you need to do and you can't get them done and you're struggling and you talk to your friends. That's the thing. We have all these things that can prevent stress. We have all these things in our life that can help us through stress, but we don't use them because we're embarrassed, or two, we don't know how. It's simple. Think differently, because If you don't have enough money to pay your rent today, and your rent is due in a week, what are you going to do? I tell people all the time, don't ruin your today because of tomorrow. If there's nothing you can do about it, and here's my thing. I say this every single time, and for you that have followed me on Facebook, uh, you'll have heard this before. People that have never followed me before and follow me now on YouTube, the thing is this. Remember this. Ask yourself this one question. If you have a problem, ask yourself this question. Is there something I can do about it? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, then accept that and move forward. If the answer is yes, start working on the problem. Start working towards fixing the problem. Because when you're working towards fixing something, that problem is no longer a problem. It becomes you trying to create a solution. It's a job for you to get that done. So you're working on it. How can you be depressed about something when you're moving forward? If you sit there and you look at something and you say, hey, like I said this to somebody the other day. I took a block of wood and it was square. It was exactly a square. And I said, look, if you have a problem, and the problem is I need to make this block of square round. I need to make this round. Okay? And you sit there and you keep focusing on, well, it's square. Why is it square? Every time I need something round, it's square. You're not working on the problem. You're focusing on the problem. You're not focusing on the solution. You should look at this and go, it's square and I need it round. How do I make this round? Well, let's see. I'm going to trim the edges like this, and you're going to start working on the solution. Make sure you're working on the solution and focus on the solution. Stop focusing on the problem. The problem does not solve itself. You do. And if you need to solve a problem, you need to focus on the resolution of that problem, not the problem itself. And if you answered no, there's nothing you can do about it. Look, this pack of cigarettes is square. Winston makes them square. I can't make a round one because I don't work for Winston. It's out of my hands. So guess what? I accept it and I move forward. Accept it for what it is and move forward. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a relationship, a death, for example. A death is a good example because you have no choice. You have no control. It's done. It's final. If somebody in your family dies, which I just lost my grandfather before Christmas, it sucked. I was very close to my grandfather. But is there something I can do about it? Yes or no? No. My next step is to accept it. My grandfather is gone. He's gone. I will never see him again. I accept that. I have no choice but to accept it, right? So when you start accepting things, then you can start healing from those things that you accept. But like I said, if the problem is something that you can resolve, you know, then start working on it right away. And as you're working on it, you're moving forward. While you're moving forward, your life gets better and better and better. And you have less anxiety, less depression, because you're actually working towards a solution to your problem. So anxiety and depression, like I said, it's all in your head. You know, there's no way, and I don't know if you know this, there's no way that somebody can go, hey, you have anxiety. Who said? Another human being sitting across from you. There's no scientific way to measure it, anxiety or depression. And I hear people saying all the time, oh, it's a chemical imbalance. No, it's not a chemical imbalance. That's incorrect. Look it up. Not on a site that has medication and all these things that can straighten out your chemicals. Look it up. Look it up on a scientific, not a doctor's standpoint, a scientific standpoint, where science says we cannot measure in the brain, we cannot measure anxiety, we cannot measure depression. That is done with a human being sitting across from you, listening to you talk and going, I'm diagnosing you with anxiety. That would be like me talking to you and going, hey, I'm diagnosing you with cancer. Because there's no scientific way. If you're not looking at scientifically and all the tests that they can do to see cancer, then the reason why they can't diagnose depression and anxiety scientifically, just by somebody talking to you and listening to you, and they diagnose you by saying, yeah, you're fucked up and this is what you got. The reason why they do that is because there is no scientific way to measure what you think. Understand? So what you think is what controls your life. Your thought process controls your life. So if you're struggling with depression and anxiety, start thinking differently. Start looking at things a little differently, because you know what? It's not the fucking end of the world. It's not. No matter what your problem is, it's not the end of the world. Look, people go through fucking struggles in life. We all do. You just have to learn to deal with your struggles. You have to learn to face those struggles. And don't self-medicate. Like, I have friends that, I had a fucking horrible day, I need drinks. Oh. And then they drink and they start crying about their problem and this. So me, if I have a problem, because I'm a recovered addict, I never use anything at all, not even alcohol. If I'm feeling bad about something, I won't drink. And all my friends will tell you that. David goes out, his grandfather died, I went out New Year's Eve, my grandfather died, I still wasn't over it. I'm processing it, and I'm processing it with what? My mind, mentally, because that's all it is, it's mental. There's nothing else in my body that's failing because my grandfather died, besides my thought process. And my thought process can fucking trash my body. But I don't let that happen. I deal with things, and I deal with them on a clear mind so I can heal. I still miss my grandfather today, and I'll miss him for the rest of my life. But I've accepted the fact that he's gone. Now, when I went out on New Year's, I did not have one drink. Not a drink. Not a cocktail. Because I was dealing with something, and I need my mind right to deal with it. And you need your mind right to deal with shit, too. Just like I tell people that are heroin addicts. Look, kicking the drug is the easy part. The hard part is changing your thought process and not being a drug addict in your head anymore. It's all thought process. It's building habits. We can all build habits. And I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, I think. I think I'm going to talk about tomorrow. I think I'm going to talk about heroin addiction tomorrow. So, yeah, I think I'm going to. But remember, your situations that you're in are what causes depression and anxiety. Think on how to resolve those issues and accept the ones that you can't change. Listen, you guys have a great day. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope I see that I'm having stream health issues here. Hopefully it didn't screw up the whole thing for you guys, and hopefully this video works out okay. You guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. And remember, the most important thing in your life is your happiness. You guys have a great day. See you tomorrow. Join me tomorrow where I'll talk about heroin and whether it's a disease or not. I absolutely believe it's not a disease. So I'll talk to you tomorrow about that. You guys have a great day.